So as I was saying, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
All right. So let me share my screen. As I was saying, if it wasn't for the setup that we took, let's just do analysis and we see where the market is. So Mark has been trading. So I've been seeing his setups. I believe even most of you have been trading anyway because of the morning sessions that we had. Now yesterday we had one losing trade, which was live. Was it yesterday? Then, of course, some people go to the sell, but there are some things that I hadn't put in mind for that analysis that after backtesting, I had to come back and redo my analysis. And currently, I'm in for this buy. I entered in from around here, this position here. I believe Mark is already on the buy. Mark entered from around the private group. So, this is just simple technicals. I know most of you have already understood why. Now, of course, at first I posted a sell from around here, but then if you can notice, we have no engulfing all these parts. Now, this is what I always tell you people. The analysis begins with analysis, like the point of entry and entries. Yeah, I've seen your analysis is kind of becoming okay, but now entries are the hardest point. So basically, always wait for a confirmation that sellers are willing to drive the price to a downer position. And if you can notice, this is the low of last week, and that's why this short would have been from here. Someone had analysis for a sell. Yeah, it was you, by the way, it was you. You first had analysis for a sell. This was the first point of entry, basically around, was it here or here? I think it was here. That was our point of entry for the sell, but if you can see, there is no engulfing throughout until here and here. So basically, our stop loss would have been slightly above here. So we'd have gotten from either here or here for more entries and then momentum. Now, if you can backtest how GBP has been moving, it has really been almost the same movement with those engulfing candles. Though at times they may not appear. For example, if you look at down, then you have to just be patient and you sit up and you can see how the market move. So basically, an engulfing just means that buyers or sellers are willing are willing or are present in that market to drive it to whichever direction that you're anticipating it to go. And that's why our strategy is complete. Yeah, it has an exit, it has an entry, but the problem is practice. Most times when people are seeing me in the other group trading, they think it's something easy. Yeah, I hope you've noticed that too. But if you don't practice, it's going to kick you out. Yeah, it's going to kick you out. Now, that's why I wanted us to have those sessions of entries um this week, but and last week, but I haven't really been getting enough time to do it. At least you'll post the chat and at least I know you've learned something. Yeah. So this someone would say, trend line, it's just a normal trend line, but have you the practice on how to use that trend line? That's where the difference is. Yeah. For example, look at this market. This market enters such a market form. Are you going to just use structure only? No, you can't use only structure. Yeah, these are the things we keep talking about. You can't use any structure. So GBP moved, it was so aggressive to the downside. I hope you've noticed that. And then when I was backtesting, I noticed one thing. It kept notice how the market is moving and how it's pulling back. It gives you some bit of a picture of how that market is moving. For example, the retracements were in deep, but the movement to the downside was so aggressive. It was so aggressive. And the retracements were in deep, and they kept coming back to key area trading with the trend. But then it happened. Now here it was just there are small movements, but they're so aggressive. They're so aggressive until then when the market gave me this daily pattern. And there is another thing I've noticed. Every time for these past 2 weeks, there is a trade that I've been taking, doing the same thing over and over again. You know, when I told you at times the market does something that is the same thing over and over again. This week, you know, the gap, like when it creates a gap, when it's changing. Yeah, there's always that gap. In Uganda time, it happens at midnight. And I believe in West Africa, it happens from is it 10 p.m. to 11 or 11 p.m. to midnight? But for here, it's midnight to 1 a.m. That's why we're in a nice time zone. So every time it happens, the market gives us that gap to the opposite direction and starts moving to the direction. Now, let me just show you how it worked. Let me just delete this rectangles. So because I had seen it happen again and again, look at this. The market goes up like that. I expect it to come back to either demand zone for sentiment or something. So when it happened, I was already in a buy trade. And I also took a trade on Euro USD. I was showing someone how we enter the market. And I'm going to show you how I entered on Euro USD. So I expected this market to just come back here because how long does it take for a market? It can't just change like this and go. It takes a pattern for that market to change direction. I literally closed the trade when it came to this supply zone and the market melted. And around here, it gave us that midnight gap to this direction. And then me, I just entered in for a buy. If you notice the screenshot I posted, my buy began from here because I got it late and it went to the upside. Now, if you go and back test, where was it? There's a point where I can't find the gaps, but let's just try to find one. Not here. Was it this? No. I don't know if I'll be able to find the gaps, but if I'm not able to, we're going to do one tonight. I don't know if it will work out, but I want us to backtest it together. The market will go to the negative direction. For the gap, it will be so big. Then immediately it does that, just wait for it. It's going to give us a gap to the downside. I wish it does, because that's what it will show us that it's going to just continue to the upside. I've backtested it and it has done wonders. Now let me show you that trade on Euro USD that I personally jumped on. I don't trade Euro USD, but I was there. Now it was this one. Just this was the W pattern. I jumped in from around here. So the market came back as in this trade, but of course it was late in the night. I didn't really, and the market just continued to the upside. So that's what I've been trading. Today we had unemployment news, positive for the dollar, but the market didn't respect that. It okay, sorry. This news shows that unemployment has gone up. I mean, has gone down compared to the previous month. This news was positive for the dollar, right? But the market just gave us a weak rejection. Let me see. On Euro US, on GBPUSD, it gave us just a small weak rejection. It gave us a weak rejection, but later I went to that day. This was a fake out. So our entry would have been at this nice engulfing. This is what is happening in the market. A lot. For Michael, did you buy? Okay, no. You told me you were trading a personal account. Look at how the DXY is falling. Crazy. Yesterday, Bitcoin was dumping. Today, we saw a pullback. Let's just see the Bitcoin charts. This was yesterday, solid dump here. But then we have a pullback. And I already closed out profit on Bitcoin. I still expect Bitcoin to dump massively because this is just a pullback to a Fibonacci area. Bitcoin. So you can see 61.8. If there is an S there. Now, most times when we come for these calls, we don't talk strategy. If you have real action. So currently, let's see if there's a divergency for sentiment. If there is none of yet. So this market can still continue to the upside. But if we have a break of this trend line and the retest, we shall be waiting for this area, 50, 68, dumping because of that break and retest. So these things work. You have to just be in practice, do everything for practice. Look at just this nice movement of the market. Yeah. So I don't know if you have any questions because I believe we already looked at it. Wow, what's happening? Just bounced off a nice line here. This line was a nice resistance. Wow. Okay. Same thing, trend line break and retest will always. If you get it well, look at this. You get it well and you get this M pattern. This is the engulfing. So look at what is happening. The market is just dipping. See, I don't trade all these pairs, but you can't tell me you can fail to get this. It's just execution, and you see why you're supposed to focus on a few pairs so that you don't miss out. Look at this buy on gold, which is relatively going to be a nice sell. I don't trade gold, but look at this. Let's look at this. Nice sell here. I'm saying nice sell here. All you're supposed to wait is for this market. As simple as that. It's a flag. Wow. Rising wedge, break retest, can give another opportunity here to engulfing for the down sell. Can we just leave it through here and see how it's going to perform? If it gives us a confirmation. Because I'm saying this is also a 61.8 area. Take profit is this low. And you can also see right here that we may have 61 confirmation. But this is 61.8. You have to test it there. You have to just test it and see how it is doing. You can see. Yeah, structure-wise. This was the engulfing. This was entry would have been here for this sell. So make your trading as simple as possible. As simple as possible. I always tell people you don't need a lot to make money. So, Michael, I don't know if you have any question for this trade. Otherwise, we can call it a session. Yeah. Concerning the way the market is changing, the way the market is. Whoa. Can you speak now? You muted.
Yes.
It's loud and clear.
I said there's something I discovered this, unlike before, that the confluence you look at, go down is to consider.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other confluences like the higher low of the wind and psychological level, they are always a bit away from it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I haven't noticed it. This week is basically a selling week. You know why? It's basically a selling week, but the confluences have been trendline confluences. That's what, now, for example, here, this confluence was what? A Fibonacci area with an M pattern. And there's a trend line running from up above that I've removed, but you can put it back. So all these confluences were basically, and most times the best confluences are from the say low probability setup. Get, if you're looking at a low probability setup, what confluences are you going to consider for the low probability setup? Some people, now for this week, it was basically more sells than buys. Yeah. And at some point, I took a wrong trade here, which was a buy. And when I went back to back test, I was literally supposed to have selling. And that's why you see the market pull back to 61. The market has been pulling back to 61.8. You can see not demand and supply. The market dipped. Now this one is Fibonacci area and also supply support and also supply market structure. This is Fibonacci 61.8. Yeah. So the market has been changing a lot. And that's why you see that at times you're supposed to be dynamic with your changes. You're supposed to know that. That's why at times you analyze and see what's happening in the past and then come and align it with what's happening now. It takes practice to do it. Yeah. It takes practice to do it, but we shall keep practicing. I like your energy. At least you've kept up with the consistency for weeks. And I believe for Afro, it's in profit, I believe, right? Right?
Like just a dollar profit. That it is on 125 now. I invested 124.
Oh, like for one account or for both. I think you invested in cheaper. Yeah, you invested in cheaper. Then one went into drawdown, I believe. So now the other is the one pushing it to profit. One has just come back into profit. But just hold your tokens. It's going to give us an amazing return. Amazing return. As for the trading, I think market for Nelson, I don't know how to trades. I think it's also fun. Okay. So let me just end the recording here for this one, then we'll continue. Just a minute. Just a minute.